setting sun. The stars come twinkling one by one, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We sleep in dreams both deep and bright, sailing through the velvet night, refreshing the soul to the Spirit's delight, living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living, we are living, we are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God. We are living in the heart of God.
Nothing is ever lost, and we are not forgotten. Good morning and welcome. If you will please stand, we will open with a couple of good old-fashioned, well, no, new, some great moving tunes. Feel free to dance.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
One more time.
My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
And I can see clearly now.
Yeah.
And the
words
sky
are in
will
your
clear in a
program.
few days or a few hours.
I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
In the beginning was the one presence of the undivided and unmanifest pure spirit of life, light, and love. In its generosity, it shared itself, its consciousness, and its love in the visible form of creation. We acknowledge this presence within us and as us. The creative energy of the divine feminine and masculine expressing in all our giftedness and creativity. We acknowledge this in our companion Mother Earth and in all sentient beings. This universal presence in everything we call the Christ. We light this candle as a visible reminder of the Christ presence expressing in, as, and through us in this present moment now. It is the truth, let us own it. And I'd like to welcome you all here today. Welcome back. Welcome. You must be Dominic. How did I know? You look just like your mama. Welcome. And Joy, it's always a joy to have you and your friend. Cousin. Great. Yeah, I can see a family resemblance, but I know they didn't have two daughters, so. What is your name? Talia. Welcome. It's so good to have you with us today. And is there anybody else who might be here for the first time? If you could just raise your hand real quickly so we can make sure to greet you later on. Okay, well, welcome back, everyone. Welcome home, and it's great to have you with us today. We are a joyful, evolving spiritual community committed to spiritual practices, compassionate service, and living on purpose. This is our mission. Now let's just turn to one another for a moment and greet each other from our seats. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to let you know that today our musicians are the Calling Birds, and led by Kathy and Marcia, and we've got Deborah, Aaron, and Liz singing along. So thank you. And now let's just take a moment to get centered, if you will, so we can say our 5 principles of unity together. And these principles are written on the inside of your program there, so if you want to take a look at that, if you don't know them. And we'll say these together. Together, God is good and present in all things. The holiness of God is my own true nature. I am creating my experiences by how I think. My thinking is guided by my daily affirmative prayers and affirmative actions. I follow and am sustained by these values in every way, every day, and so it is. And now, as we prepare for our time of reflection and meditation, please hold the words of this meditation hymn quietly in your heart.
Sinking into those words that I go to my God in prayer. And just sinking a little deeper with a deep breath. Allowing the distractions of the morning perhaps and the to-do lists of later to just fade away. And we sink into this moment of prayer to be followed by meditation. And we go to our God in prayer. And this is a comforting thought. This is a wonderful and amazing thing that we can sink into the very temple of our own hearts and go to our God in prayer. And it's also a call to courage, to stand in the very presence of the divine and to know the truth of ourselves, that that very divine essence, that very presence of God is in our hearts, is in our true selves. It is waiting for us to just be available, to be of service, to be open, to say yes, to be aware, to be open, to know our very value, that we are children of the divine, and everything in our hearts is open for transformation, that all our prayers are heard. And so I start this prayer moment with us with a prayer of gratitude. Gratitude for each good thing I see in my life, and actually gratitude for each challenge, each perceived problem, for each perceived difficulty that I know is there for me, for my ability to transform, to be alive, to respond. And in all things I say thank you, and I am grateful. And in the temple of our hearts, we can bring the people who have asked for our prayers, who are in a place that is challenging for them, who want to be held in love and tenderness. And I bring Angie to this prayer circle. And I bring the people in the places in the world who are suffering with war and trauma and violence. And I bring all our friends who are going through times of transformation that are challenging. We hold them in the temple of our hearts, in this place where the dwelling of the divine is. And we know that their hearts are being held tenderly in God's care. And for whom else and for what else shall we pray? Please feel free to say their names or the thing out loud. And for all these people and for all these concerns and for all the things that are in our hearts that we're holding tenderly, we lay them at the altar of our hearts. We lay them here at the feet of the divine presence, knowing we are fully held, fully loved, fully transformed. And we take these prayers now into a time of meditation.
Let's take this next few moments to relax deeper, to remain in this place of silent prayer and meditation with our hearts open. Let go of anything you might be holding in your hands or on your lap. It will be safe on the floor or beside you. Get comfortable in your chair. And as you notice any pockets of discomfort, breathe deeply into that area and relax. Take a deep breath and slowly let it go. Set aside any worries or concerns in your mind for the time being. This is your time to connect with Spirit. Take another deep breath and slowly release it. And once more, in and out. In the stillness of God's peace, I relax. In this peaceful time of rest and relaxation, I move in harmony with the creative flow of inspiration. My spirit is filled with joy. In the silence of prayer and meditation, my mind expands and opens to new means of expression. I'm so grateful for my past moments of creativity. Take a moment now to think of a past creation that you achieved. Perhaps it's something in art, music, writing, cooking, building, or volunteering in service to your community. And say to yourself, I am grateful for my past moments of creativity. I give thanks for the creative spirit within me and in all people for the outlet of divine expression. And I'm going to share with you our daily word for today. Gratitude is my natural state of mind. What joy it is to feel gratitude rising from my heart and filling my mind. Feeling grateful makes me aware of the all-encompassing presence of God, including the divine within me. When I live from my spiritual nature, gratitude becomes the song of my heart. I don't need to wait for a reason to feel gratitude. I feel the good in every situation, the blessing that can come from any adversity, and the presence of God in every aspect of life. Practicing gratitude opens my eyes to the blessings that are present and opens my heart to receive even more. I give thanks for an unlimited world, peaceful bliss, and perfect wholeness. And from Psalms 95:2, let us come into God's presence with thanksgiving. Let us make a joyful noise to him with songs of praise. And as we begin to return our attention to this time and place, let us bring with us an expectancy of gratitude as we each create future moments of our divinely inspired creativity as we sail. And so it is. Amen.
She comes sailing on the wind, her wings flashing in the sun. On a journey just begun, she flies on. And in the passage of her flight, her song rings out through the night, full of laughter, full of light. She flies on. Silent waters rocking on the morning of our birth, like an empty cradle waiting to be filled. And from the heart of God, the Spirit moved upon the earth, like a mother breathing life into her child. Many were the dreamers whose eyes were given sight when the Spirit filled their dreams with life and form. Deserts turned to gardens, broken hearts found new delight, and then down the ages still
such a beautiful song. And you guys, oh, thank you. I know I've heard that song before, but it felt like a first time. Oh, it's really beautiful. Wow. So lots of good news today. We're getting ready for the 60th anniversary, or actually the 60th celebration, which is going to take place next week. So today's a bit of a warm-up. Because you can't do it all on one Sunday, right? And we call it 60th celebration as opposed to anniversary because we're very interested in not only the 60 years of generosity and beauty and sharing and life that this community has brought to us to this point, but we're also interested in what's going to happen the next 60 years or more. So we stand at this nexus of time, and we stand in with a lot of gratitude for all that's come. I mean, sometimes I come in here and, new people come in, they go, look at this place, and look at out all the windows, and I've seen it online, and I've got to visit, and look at this place. But I want to say, and we'll say this over and over, when I say look at the unity of Bellingham, the first thing that comes to our mind is look at this physical place. But this physical place is only a manifestation of consciousness that has been unfolding for the last 60 years and 40 years since it's been here. And everything that goes forward, and what I'm suggesting is we're thinking about raising consciousness. We've already done this grounded in faith, and I'm going to talk about that in a second. But in the next phase of what we're doing is we're raising the roof of our consciousness. Raising the roof of our consciousness. Because this whole journey we're on, and we say Unity of Bellingham, you might think, oh, that's this spiritual community. It's these people, and they have names, and all that is true, and it has a building, and all that is true. But all of that is a reflection of consciousness and life and love and relationships that are flowing through time and flowing through the doors and out the doors and around the doors, and actually dozens, if not 100 people that are part of this flow, this energy, which we call Unity of Bellingham, who have never even been to Bellingham. And yet still, they're part of the energy of what's going on. And so we look at, and I don't know if you guys if you haven't seen this whole area out here has been dug up, and we're still getting rid of some of the pipes, and we hooked into a new tank, and it's got a pump, and we're hooked up to the sewer. And when we started, we had this big fundraiser, which we raised all the funds we needed right away. Why? Because of consciousness, and people saw that we are grounded in faith, and we need we got to get rid of the septic and put a tie into the sewer. So it manifested in form in a certain way that involved pumps and pipes and, all the stuff that has to happen. But that's not what really happened. What really happened is we grounded ourselves in faith and in a belief in this community of Unity of Bellingham and all that has meant for people over 60 years and all that it can still mean for people in the next 60 years. We grounded ourselves in a faith that what is going on here, what is going on in our lives is important. Not because we think it, because we felt it. It's a lived experience of what's happened, and it's a lived hope of what can still happen, and an expectation of what can happen, and a vision for what can happen. And so, not coincidentally, at the same time, they were digging up pipes and putting in this thing and grounding ourselves in faith and grounding ourselves in Mother Earth and grounding ourselves in the very soil in which we live. We, at the same time, as a community, put out a statement that went like this. Unity of Bellingham has made a covenant with the earth. We affirm the oneness of all beings in the cosmos as we each manifest in our own unique and beautiful way to be on purpose to Spirit's calling. We acknowledge the interconnectedness and the interbeing. I'm going to say that again. The interconnectedness and the interbeing of all creation. And we commit to living and acting in harmony with this oneness and always reverently loving Mother Earth and the web of all existence. We commit to living sustainably and healthfully and always growing in our consciousness of care and showing up respectful to Earth and all the beings on the earth, both personally and as a community. We say yes. We say yes to the vibrancy of the planet and the evolving good of all creation. And we sent this into Unity Worldwide Ministries, who sent us back this nice plaque that says, Unity of Bellingham has created a conscious awareness of our oneness with creation and made care for the earth a significant component of its ministries. Because of this, the truth that God is everywhere present in creation is alive in the minds and the hearts of this congregation and has been translated into their daily actions. We honor Unity of Bellingham for its vision of earth care, its commitment to walk upon the earth for the greatest good of all creation. We're on the board. Yeah. The consciousness of being grounded in Mother Earth. And you thought it was a sewer. This consciousness. It was digging in the earth. It was embracing the good. It was grounding our faith. And this was all about the consciousness. This was about what we call that shimmering field of creativity. Not just making sewers, that's good and that's technical and that's obviously very important that works to run a building. But even more so, it was grounding our consciousness in a faith of what's possible when the community stands up together and becomes available. So let's talk about that for a minute. And let's talk about, this creative thing that's now unfolding. And, there's this sense of, I want to teach you a bit of a mantra. And bless you. And this is one that we've talked about before. And I'm going to add some pieces to it, and then we can try it together. And the first part is because, sometimes when things get difficult, like putting in a sewer or fixing a roof or whatever, it's really easy to maybe be a bit of a victim. Like, well, I didn't fix the roof. Why do I have to fix the roof? Or, why do those neighbors do this with their laundry on their porch? And why do people drive that way? And why do people cut me off? And it's all about me. Love to be a victim. It's so easy. I don't have to be responsible. So we could say as a denial, and in Unity of affirmations and denials, I am not a victim to the world I see. And part 2 of that, and we've done that one before, is I choose to see with the eyes of love. Now, just a reminder, there's levels of consciousness, and we're talking about consciousness, and probably the lowest, densest level is victim. And we love to walk, oh, why me? They've done it to me again. The government, the taxes, oh, they're getting me. Victim. And the flip side, it's funny, is not victim, but victor. I'm going to stop being the one they're getting. I'm going to get them back. And then St. Francis comes along and goes, what if you're just a channel of peace? What if you're not a victim or a victim, or victor, but this is a higher level. I am just going to allow the energy of the divine to flow through me, and I'm going to get out of that low, dense energy of victim-victor, and I'm going to pick it up a little and know that I can be vessel. I can be the one through whom God works in the earth, in this planet, in my life. And that is really, and if we get there, that's wonderful. And there's yet a step even beyond that, which we call verity, which means truth. And we're at that level, it's not that the divine is flowing through me or the divine is using me, but I recognize the divine of me. That the very divine nature of me is what's acting out in the world. And so now here's a big caution. We can say this, and I'm going to ask you to say it, but think about it before you do. When you say, I am not a victim to the world I see, I choose to see with the eyes of love. And what that means is, and what's nice and safe about being a victim, is when things happen, you can go, I knew it. I told you. It's really easy. Unplug. When we choose to see with the eyes of love, and love is synonymous with God, love is synonymous with the divine, love is synonymous with the vibrancy of the very nature of our existence, this holy and sacred existence. When we see with the eyes of love, you ready? This is one of those things, but you got to say it. We suffer. Because if you love deeply, we will inevitably see the pain of what we love in this world of transition and in this world that's finite, ends and changes, and things go wrong, and things don't work out, and people we love go through pain, and we may go through pain, and the ideas we have maybe didn't work out, and I love that thing, and it didn't work. I can't explain. It's not like I can say this is why. I can't. I can just say this was what is. When we choose to say, I choose to see through the eyes of love, when I choose to see through the eyes of God, when I choose to see as the divine, then we suffer. And who did that? Profoundly. Who showed up and lived fully as the Christ essence, the cosmic self, the vibrant self, the actualized self, the Christ self, Jesus, and what happened in his life. Plenty of suffering. It's a bit alchemical, but it's what happens. And yet, in the midst of that profound suffering that people who deeply love will inevitably feel, there's also this joy. I'm not saying happiness, giddiness, yay, but there's like a sense of joy. A sense of when I'm honestly grieving something that honestly should be grieved, there's a sense of peace and joy and honesty and truth that's the flow of the divine through me as well. And I know I sort of make it a joke, but it is a kind of thing, well, that sometimes sounds intense. So maybe I'll play victim. And I can just kind of shove it off as, Eeyore, never work. Or I can stand up and say, I refuse, I deny this victimness of what I see, and I choose to see through the eyes of love. That is a courageous and powerful spiritual statement to make. It seems so simple. Well, of course, I want to see love. Think about what we're saying. It's standing up to the plate in a really big way, in a deeply spiritual way, in a way that shows up honestly and embraces the fullness of life. And so let's take tools. Like, what are tools I can use if I'm going to say that and really stand up? God expressing each moment as life, as wisdom, as love, as power, can now express through me and as me into the world. I'll say that again. God, in each moment, and this is important, not like sometimes or, once in a while or after I've prayed for 15 minutes, then God shows up. No, God, the divine presence in each moment, always available, always online, always there, always working through us. It's only us that stops the flow. In each moment, God expressing. And you think of, if you know the 12 powers, for people not used to unity, maybe the chakra systems, first, second chakra, life, and then third chakra, wisdom, and fourth chakra, love, and fifth chakra, power. And you could add more if you want. I'm quoting Emily Cady here. She used those four, so I use those four, but you could say as imagination, as zeal, as understanding, as faith, as strength, as the power to deny and eliminate, as finding order in all things. All these things can come online. And Emily Cady, so just to make it simple, let's use these four. God expressing his life. So first, second chakra, you can, when you do, because I'm going to ask you up and do this, so pay attention here. His life and his wisdom, the hara, the middle chakra. Wisdom, heart, love, and then this power of your throat, power, is now expressing in, or you could say, in me and through me and into the eternal and into the real and into the world. I'll say it. You can repeat after me when we get there. And there's a third part. And because I'm thinking of all this sewer and all that's happening and creating through the power of consciousness. I am, as God is, a ceaseless creator. We never stop. We're constantly creating. I am a ceaseless creator, made and of one substance with the Creator itself. Made and of one substance with the Creator itself. Aligned with, and the way you'd say that, I am ceaselessly creating, made and of one substance, vibrancy, harmonizing, connecting, made and of one substance with the Creator itself. Which means, and here's another one of these, it's so good, and yet there's a caution, there's always this caution. We're always creating. I'm a ceaseless creator. So if I'm not paying attention to what am I creating, I'm still creating. We want to be aware of what it is we're creating. And how do we create? Whatever we're holding in consciousness. So what do we want to do? Make sure, and part of our spiritual practice is constantly understand that we are connected to consciousness. Not like, oh, today I'm going to connect, tomorrow I won't. We are always connected to consciousness. Keep that channel clean. The channel to the divine side and the spiritual side, to the infinite side of our consciousness. Because if we don't consciously do that, what happens is we default into this. Default into this is what's real. This is what's real. This is only what's real. Is on the physical plane, is on the finite plane, is on the mortal plane. And boy, that's a heartbreaker. But we get into that sense where we do resonate and harmonize and connect to the eternal. And then when we're ceaselessly creating, one made of and one with the divine substance itself, through whom all things were made, then we know what's happening. And by the way, when I say creating is different than making. Making is, I'm on the physical plane. I'm going to make something. I've got my tools. I know how to do it. I get the instructions. I put them together, and I make it. And we know how to do that, and making's a good thing. Thank God. We make things all the time, and we love things we make. But when we talk about creation, it's not only the making of it, but it's being in that field where we know that we're connected. It's almost like we're making, but then time goes by and and hours go by and we're just connected. We're flowing in the divine flow, and then things come out, things that we throw the instructions away. New things come out, new colors come out, new opportunities come out, new ideas come out, new possibilities come out, because we're in that creative flow. We're connected and harmonizing with the vibrancy of the divine itself. We're creating, and we're always creating. And we use that creation, and then we use, when I talk about the nexus, we create in spirit, we make on the mortal plane, and we find that nexus, and beautiful things come out of that. These guys, these plumbers, were beautiful creators. We watched them. They put in this tank, and it didn't work, and they went away, and we're like, oh my God, the new machine doesn't work, and the pump doesn't work. And the guy comes back, and he goes, it's working. I said, what did you do? Was it the check valve? Did you take the thing apart? I mean, what was your great? He goes, I don't know, I just smacked it with a mallet. Harmonized with the divine. I smacked it with a rubber mallet, now it works. And they gave us a bill. I could have done that. The difference between making and harmonizing, and creating, stand in that vibrancy. So now we get to do this because we've done a lot of creating and we've done a lot of connecting, and we got a lot more yet to do because we got 60 next years to come. So let's align with those 60 next years, and let's try this mantra. You willing to do it with me? Okay, stand up and we'll take it to you a piece at a time, and then we'll do it all together. You ready? I love this first one. The first, the denial. I am not a victim to the world I see. Ooh. You believe that? Some days I go, yeah, I'm not a victim to the world I see. But did you hear what was on the news? They're really trying to... No, yeah. You have to turn on CNN, but before you read it, I am not a victim to the world I see. I choose to see through the eyes of love. How's that feel? Okay, let's on all together. I am not a victim to the world I see. I choose to see through the eyes of love. Yeah, what a difference in consciousness that is to walk through. And it gets even better. Here's some tools we can use. God expressing as. Ready? First chakra. Life. Wisdom. Love. Power is flowing in and through me now. Woo. Ready? All together. God expressing as life, as wisdom, as love, and as power is flowing through me in and through me now. or something like that. You get it. It's you, you'll use your own words too. I am a ceaseless creator. What? So I'm glad it's a video. I gotta watch it. Made and one with, and we get the virus. The Creator itself. Yeah, make that connection. Vibrancy, harmonizing, connected. Okay, we're getting ready for the next 60 years. This is great. You think we can do it all together? Okay, here we go. Ready? I am not a victim to the world I see. I choose to see with the eyes of love. God expressing as life, as wisdom, as love, as power is flowing in and through me now, because I am a ceaseless creator, made and one with the Creator itself, or himself or herself or themself or whatever you want to say. How's that feel? Okay. One more time, or should we sit? One more time. Everyone standing. This is good. Okay. Ready? Okay, this one's good. 1, 2, 3. I am not a victim to the world I see. I choose to see through the eyes of love. God expressing as life, as wisdom, as love, and as power is flowing in and through me now, because I am a ceaseless creator, made and one with Creator itself. Woo. All right. And so it is. And so it is. And this can be, Jonathan's like, I'm ready to go now. Yeah. We got a little bit more. Jonathan's like, thanks. He's heading for the door. I'm done. Yeah. There's one little piece left. And so we want to be ceaseless creators. And the good news of it right now, and this is kind of a both, I don't know, think of it good as bad. I'm going to think of it as good. And I'm speaking to you now, I'm speaking to all of us as people who are here on a Sunday morning, and probably for much of our life have come on a Sunday morning to a spiritual center or a church or a mosque or an ashram or a prayer place or a meditation center or a yoga studio or something. And by the way, that model that has been around for hundreds, if not thousands of years, is done. And it's changing. And I was listening to Ezra Klein that he did this podcast, and he met this guy, this professor, McCaskill, who talked about looking into the future, and long-termism was his thing, and like really caring for the generations to follow. And one of the things he talked about was this sense of, he called it plasticity, but I'm going to use the word malleability. There are periods in time, and always have been, you can look at history, where things got really rigid with a culture, with a country, with an area, with a world, and with people themselves, and with small communities and large communities, and with institutions, and they're stuck. And they're solid. And all of a sudden, something happens, usually often a trauma, but oftentimes just some kind of change, where all of a sudden there's a period of malleability. Everything's soft. Everything is open. Everything is open to change. And I would suggest to you that when it comes to not only the planet, not only United States, not only unity, not only the idea of going to service on Sunday morning of some sort, whatever that model is, we're in a place of malleability. It's soft. It's ready to be created in a new way. And much of what it did look like, and especially with the pandemic, I mean, who we were 3 years ago and who we are now is totally different. That's just not just us. That's across the planet. That's everywhere. These models of church, if you will, are totally open now. This is the good news. It's also the challenging news. And it's okay to say, and what all does it mean? And it's okay to say, I don't know. I don't know totally, but I do know some things. One is, all you people online are now part of our reality, and that is not going to change. We are phygital from now on. we are physical, and we are digital. That's our community. We love you guys, seriously. We're phygital. That's the new world, and that's not going to change. And another piece, for many years, people used to say, oh, it's all about, we look at who's coming in the doors. And that's still fun to come in the doors because, quite frankly, I like you guys. It's fun to see people and have coffee and talk with each other and have classes and get together. And the community that can connect physically, that's still important. And the new evolving is going to be external as well. And the big question is not only how can we invite people in, is how can we go out and touch people in their lives? The new model is going to have a lot to do with not only do we have spiritual practices here, but how can we share spiritual practices and things that we have found that transform our lives with other people who really want to hear it? And how can we not only be of service to each other, but how can we be of service to the greater community of Bellingham and support people in being of service to the greater world, and with no sense of, well, we're doing it to get anything back, besides it is our spiritual love. I choose to see the world through the eyes of love. Well, who doesn't want to do service and love and care and be connected? And then also look at, when we see through the eyes of love, we also see the pain. And we see the suffering, and we see, and this is not being in oh, it's terrible victim conscious. This is being empowered. I am the very essence and the consciousness of the divine is flowing through me, and I see issues in the world, and as a divine working through me, there is something I can do, and this is the eyes of love. It's spiritual social action. It's not action because I'm mad and, I'm being a victim. No, it's I'm in love, and I want to love people, and I want to go out and change the world from a place of energy. And also because I see the pain. Love, suffering goes with love. And it can be transformed and harmonized and changed. And so what I'm asking for you today, and here's in my way of closing, is that we want to see, I'm really curious, the board has done these exercises, but I want to invite everybody into a bit of an exercise for our 60 celebration. And the exercise is this. We have a tree on the back wall. Did you guys notice this tree back here? Thank you, Dominic. My son shows up on vacation. I go, hi, we're going to Unity, and you're going to build a tree. So he loves vacationing with his parents, When your dad's a minister, it's kind of quirky. But so he came in and he built this tree for us. And what we're going to do is Deborah had made these beautiful, thank you, Deb, leaves for us. And what these are is the red and orange, the colors of the fall, sort of the late in the year, the past. And what these are for is, and you'll see the instructions, it's very simple instructions. What am I grateful for? What has really touched me and inspired me? And what am I grateful for Unity of Bellingham over the last 60 years or however long I've been here? Or maybe you've been here 10 years, but you know stuff that happened. What is it in the past I'm grateful for? There's lots of pens back there. And when you fill yours out, take one or take two if you've got two, and just fill it out and drop it in the basket. The green is, what am I expectant for? What do we, or I, either way, but sometimes in this, you can have not only I consciousness, but think in terms of the community. What I can do, but what can we do? Because we has a lot of energy and a lot of potentiality and a lot of possibility that I alone maybe don't have. But if we can pull together as a community, including people online, then we have a lot of energy to make a difference in encouraging and sharing and loving and supporting people in spiritual practices and in serving people in the most practical or elevated types of ways, or encouraging ourselves and each other to just live on purpose in the fullness of our being, which is what we're called to do. Just live fully in the fullness of our being for the purpose that we were called here to do. Specifically, we all have a general purpose, and we're all here to be on love and to be inspired and be envisioned. But also, we each, as an individual, have something we do. And as a community, Unity of Bellingham, we have something we can do. What is that? Catch your vision. Write it down. And when you're done, put your gratitudes for things that has inspired you and your visions for the future, whatever they may be. Don't hold back. Don't think, well, that's kind of silly. No, silly's good. I mean, brainstorm, whatever hits you, wherever Spirit says, write it. And be inspired. And you don't have to sign your name if that helps. And then, that might help. but you can. And then put your leaves in the middle basket back there. And what Deborah and Janae are going to do is they're going to take all these leaves and we're going to leaf out that tree on the wall. And next week we'll have another chance to do it. And then, so for the celebration, for our 60th celebration, which is next week, we'll have a beautiful leafed out tree of our connectivity and our vision. How's that sound? We can do this. We can do this. We are going to raise the roof of our consciousness. Yeah, we'll talk more about we can do actually physically fix the roof. And that's good. And we got to do it, and that's fine, and that's not a problem. We do have to do that, and we can understand that. But more important, raising the roof of our consciousness, Okay? We can do this, right? Okay. Blessings.
Thank you, Reverend Frank. And don't be leafed out or left out. Make sure you do that. That's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see what everybody's input is on that. And now the ushers have come forward. It's time for us to share our blessings, our prosperity, the abundance that we are. So we're always grateful for your generosity, those of you at home and who are here in person. As you take your offering to your heart, quietly affirm to yourself, I give freely and joyfully, for God is my source, and I have abundance in all areas of my life. And let's say our offertory blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is.
Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, Spirit bless these seeds I sow. Spirit warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Pulling weeds and picking stones, we are made of dreams and bones. Feel the need to grow my own, 'cause the time is close at hand. Grain for grain, sun and rain, find my way in nature's chain. Tune my body and my brain to the music from the land. Plant your roses straight and long, temper them with prayer and song. Mother Earth will make you strong if you give her love and care. Old crow watching hungrily from his perch in yonder tree. In my garden I'm as free as a feathered friend up there. Inch by inch, row by row, gonna make this garden grow. All it takes is a rake and a hoe and a piece of fertile ground. Inch by inch, row by row, Spirit bless these seeds I sow. Spirit warm them from below till the rain comes tumbling down. Till the rain comes tumbling down. Till the rain comes
And so we bless these gifts with so much gratitude for all that it has been giving us, shared with us, in the physical and also in the raising of consciousness and the blessing of each person who raised their own consciousness and through whom the divine is flowing and sharing and moving and creating. So we bless these for the mission and ministries of Unity of Bellingham, for unity worldwide, and for peace on our earth. Amen. Have a few announcements. Yeah, have a list. So first off, a couple gratitudes. I don't know, a lot of you guys maybe don't go in the back, but if you go through these doors and to the right, there was this big storage area with stuff piled up on the ground, which now has these beautiful shelves and a light. And where's Greg? There he is. Greg, Dave, thank you so much for building those shelves. He's a creator. He makes things, but he's inspired, so he's a creator. The second thing is, we have some lists out here, and this is the last week, really, to sign up for next week's 60th celebration. And I'm sure you've all seen in the newsletter of what's going to happen, but I'll just let you know, just in case. The service is going to be kind of different, because we really going to, and maybe I always say it's going to be shorter, and then I get talking, but it's not going to be as long. And then what we're going to do is quickly, as soon as the service is done, everyone who's going to volunteer, we're going to meet up over here, and we're going to get assignments, because we're going to meet out there, because we've got a jazz concert with Quiet Fire going on, and we have a bounce house, and we have face painting, and we have cornhole tournament, and we have a cookout, and we have put advertisements on every co-op and grocery store and on Facebook. So we expect some people are going to show up to have a party with us, and this is totally a Unity Day to share with the community, and we've been here for 60 years, and it's just a way to say thank you, and we love you, and we're going to put it up for all the apartments up and down, and invite the local neighborhood kids to come play for a few hours. So if you haven't signed up yet, please do, so we be sure we get you our t-shirts, which I think we showed you an example of, but they're coming in Tuesday? I hope so. Yeah, okay. They should be in this week, and we want to be sure you get your t-shirt for all the volunteers. It's a kind of a unity, and it says, I choose love on the back. It's pretty cool. So please sign up if you think you can help, and then the New to You. And I thought, well, that seems like good signups for New to You, and people have told me that's like 3 times the signups that we've had in the past. I'm like, whoa, that's kind of cool. So a little bit of excitement. I don't know where this is going, but you know what? We'll have fun, right? We'll have fun. And the New to You, I don't know the history, and I wasn't here, but I'll tell you how I think of it. It's a way to be of service. We're going to provide a service to the community, and for people who are going to need some of these, a way to get some inexpensive materials. There's plenty of people who have need, who could really use some of the things that we are going to share New to You to them. So we'll be on service to our community and see through that lens of consciousness, and then we'll see how that just sort of hums that, what did we call the sermon today? The shimmering field of creativity. Let's see how we create in our community. And also the chaplain today is LM, and I see Helga's here, but I think Helga it's LM today. So thank you, LM, for being the chaplain. And I didn't tell you guys, but I just realized we usually do birthdays 4th Sunday, but since next week is the 60th, could we do that real quick? Would you mind? Okay, August birthdays, come on up. Who had a birthday in August? Yeah, make it joy. Come on up, come up, come up.
Happy birthday to
Dawn too. Okay, put your hands together. Woo! Ready? One more time, Kathy.
God is blessing you now. God is blessing you now. God is blessing you. You're wonderful. God is blessing you
Am I? Say, We have the leaves here, but please feel free to email the office at unitybellingham.com, with your memories of the 60 years or your sense of things you're grateful for that have inspired you and what you're inspired for the next 60 years and or the next 1 year. And really want to hear from the perspective of people who are part of our digital community. We really, really want to hear from you. So speaking to you, please email us and give us, and we'll transcribe it to a leaf and we'll put it up on the tree for you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, on your feet. Feel free to dance when Spirit calls. I shine, feet dance, heart sing, when given a chance, Spirit loves to dance, 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 Spirit loves to dance. I shine, feet dance, heart sing, just give it a chance, Spirit loves to dance, 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 Spirit loves to dance. One more time. Spirit loves to dance, 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 Spirit loves to dance.
Thank you. And now, as we come to the end of our service, let's say together our prayer of protection. And we do include everyone, everywhere. Together, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And so it is. So we're going to now sing I Choose Love.
Peace in my life is growing because I choose love. Love's always present, it's what I'm made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one tie that binds us that can't be undone. I choose love. I choose love. Peace in my family is growing because I choose love. Let love be present, it's what we're made of. I choose love. We are a part of each other. We are one loving family, sharing one son. I choose love. I choose
is what